Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So we're on video number 3 for the Moebius tow truck. Yes, so it's going together pretty good so far, as long as I continue to read the instructions. Other than that, we are, like I say, if you guys haven't checked out 1 and 2, I'll go check those out and kind of if you want to follow along or whatnot. So we just got back from town, and I'm just realizing I'm a little disappointed right now because I left my coffee in the house. It's nothing magic, no magic cup this time. It's actually in a styrofoam Bigsby cup, and because we went to Saginaw, I had to get some things from the Home Depot. I did a little bit of pre-work on this before the video, so I'm kind of making the header afterwards, or the intro here a little bit. So in this video, we're painting the cab using the new Swallowtail. Worked out pretty good. So we're changing colors up a little bit in the truck because the decals in the kit, they're only in white. I mean, why would you do that, Moebius? I mean, why wouldn't you do white and then black? I mean, give me some options. I can't do my truck all in white because all these decals are in white, so the decals are kind of useless to me doing it that way. So I'm going to kind of change it up a little bit, kind of not full cop car look, but I'm going to do the back half of it in gloss black. I know, I could, oh, really? Yeah, but the boom is going to be white. And I'm going to do just the hood in gloss black. And then the rest of the truck's going to be white. So that's what's going to happen with this. I think it'll look pretty good. I got some other plans for it. Hopefully that'll work out all right for it. But other than that, we're going to go through and get these pieces painted on it and run with that. So why was at the Home Depot? Like I said, I did some of this video already, and I was painting the white on the cab, and I noticed my paint mask I use, I was starting to smell paint through it. So this, as you can see, is like, I've had this thing for like a long time. I've had this for a long time. So guys, and I'm gonna admit, I'm that guy. I don't use it 100% every time, but most of the time I do use it. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna break down and buy a new one. So I picked this up today. This one's a pretty nice one. Come with extra filters and all that good stuff. Your lungs are your life, guys, so protect them the best you can. So I'll bring you over the bench here quick before we get started on the truck, and I want to show you the filters out of this other mask, just to let you know if you're not using a mask. And no, an N95 mask is not going to work. You need something like this. So let me take you over to the bench, and we're going to take one of these filters off. I haven't pulled one of these off yet, but I can already see there's stuff in here. I'm just curious what's in there, because the sad thing about this mask, I was trying to find another one of these, but I think this is just so old, just doesn't conform to my face anymore. It probably will if I tighten these straps a little bit, but man, these things are getting all janky and whatnot. But yeah, so because I have a box of these filters here, I bought some a long time ago, because these just thread in these cartridges. So you just unthread them, and I got a box of cartridges here. So they work pretty good, and these are really nice because, man, when this thing's on, you really can't smell nothing. So let's go to the bench here quick, and let's look and see what's inside one of these filters. I'm kind of curious. Okay, guys, let's see what's inside this thing. So I can tell there's a bunch of gray, some weird stuff going on in there, which is normal. I mean, it should be that. So we'll just unthread this. So I could see, it don't look like much has gone through the valve here, the old flapper valve. So I know I put these on a while back. I don't know if that's a Julian date or if that's just a part number. I don't know. But I changed these a while back, and I put new filter caps on the end of it. These come out pretty tight. Oh, that's making me work for it. You're going down, mister. Okay, so I can see a little bit's got past there, not a lot. So this is the magic part here. A little discoloration here. Oh yeah, so that was supposed to be this color originally. So that tells you how much debris you're sucking into your lungs. Unless you're that guy with a really, really hairy nose and your nose is filtering it for you, that's great. But other than that, it's still getting particles through there. You can see the dust that comes off that. So it was time to swap this out. So like I say, yeah, take care of your lungs, guys. I mean, it don't take nothing to throw these on, and just, I don't care what you look like. I mean, who cares? They're not the ones breathing it in, you are. So that's how I look at it. But get that back on there. So anyways, we'll get back to the build here. And I always like to throw that out there, guys. Just take care of yourself doing this stuff. If you want to be modeling for a long time, you should be wearing one of these. And I know some guys like, oh, I paint this big, huge area and I don't smell it. But yeah, no, eventually you're getting stuff in your lungs and you don't even realize it. So like the exhaust side of this, where you breathe out, it's got a bunch of stuff coming out of here. So it tells me a little bit's been going through the mask. So it's time to just renew it. Like I say, I've had this thing forever. I don't know what the longevity is on these things, but I've had this thing, like I say, for a long time. So it's time to retire it. I'm going to hang on to it just because I'm that guy. Not quite pack ratty, but yeah. So, okay, moving on. All right, guys, this is probably day 3. I thought before we get the video really going here, I showed you my little paint mask dealio there. I'm telling you guys, it's just, I know from experience, I burned my lungs years ago with paint. So, yeah, I'm real cautious with that at times. So, just take it as you will. And just like I say, if you want to enjoy the hobby for a long time, recommend it. Highly recommend it. So I'll tell you that story some other time, how that happened, and it was pretty epic a long time ago. So lessons learned. Yikes, that hurt. That was a bad one. So anyways, moving on. I got a few things I want to show you guys where we're at on the build. We're about halfway through right now, I'm going to guess. There's a few things I want to bring to your attention. First, I got to bring to your attention is I upload the video for number 2. Did that interior. I come back out the next day and I thought, you idiot, I got the shifters on in the wrong spot. So a day later I go in and I'm checking on some comments and whatnot. And a gentleman messaged saying, hey, I see you got the shifters, I believe, are in the wrong orientation. I thought, yep, you're absolutely right, they are. So, hey, I'm just seeing if you guys are paying attention. So, good job on that. I appreciate the comment on let me know anyway. So, thank you for that. For if you're paying attention to that. But yeah, so I was so mad at myself. I thought, oh, it's always after you upload the video and then you realize something like, but these things happen. Not a big deal. So other than that, guys, I want to welcome a new channel supporter. Gallery Airbrushes is on board. So once again, appreciate you guys coming on board. Thank you for that. So there will be a code in the description below. If you guys are going to do an order, go ahead and input that code and it'll get you 10% off of your order. Go check that out. They got a lot of cool stuff on their website. So highly recommend it, guys. We'll go to the bench and let's check out this model a little closer and we'll get moving on with it. Okay, guys, like I say, I wanted to mention a few things here on this. Obviously you can see the cab is painted. That was done with the Swallowtail, that new paint airbrush. That worked out very well. This is MCW enamel. No clear, nothing like that. I just pulled it out of the old Susie Bake Oven, my dehydrator. And that looks really nice, so I'm pretty happy with that. We got the hood done. I did the hood in black, so that also looks really good. And the sticker on that finger is driving me nuts. It's one of those like, really, why are you there? Same thing here. Just no clear, nothing out. It's just out of the paint booth there. So that sprayed very, very, very nice. Very nice. So these have all been primered. So that sprayed out really well. I got a couple of dilemmas in there, but not a big deal. We're going to sand those out, but those white decals will look really good on there. Interior, like I say, I mentioned, I had the shifters on wrong. So thank you guys for calling me out on that. I don't mind if I'm doing something wrong, let me know. I mean, that's, you know, it's, I knew that. I come back the next day and of course, oh, I upload that video, oh, you idiot. But whatever, it is what it is. And I thought, okay, so nothing you guys need to pay attention, because I know these kits are multiple kits and they put a lot of pieces in, because I know this kit's got a lot of parts in it. They have an extra shifter on here. So all these trucks usually come with a clutch pedal, and obviously the tow truck package was some add-on deal that they put onto an existing build. So there is actually a shifter here that you need to cut off. So I believe it's probably for a 3 on the tree. I learned on one of those actually. But anyways, so you need to nip that off there to give it the correct look, you know, because obviously you don't need a shifter there and you got one hanging out on the floor. So that's just something to look forward to, you know, look at while you're building that. And there is no holes in here for the floor, so you're gonna have to drill those yourself. So one of 2 options. You can use a drill bit, kind of like I did, and drill a hole, or you can just take the nub that's on the bottom of it and just cut it off and just use a little CA and just drop it in place, and there you have it. Because like I say, other than that, I drill a hole in mine, and I actually end up making a little bigger hole in here, and unfortunately trying to get that, because this shifter was welded on pretty good. This one come off pretty easy, but this one was a little tighter getting out of there for my flip-flop around on that. So just the one thing there to look out for. I know a lot of you guys have mentioned that you have a lot of warp parts. As typical Moebius, I believe my hood is actually very straight on this. It's actually pretty good shape. Obviously with this on here, I can't tell per se by sitting on the truck, but looking at it, if I don't get all scratched up first, it looks actually really good. Now, the back part of this, where the wrecker bed is, mine was warped like oh my. I mean, it was pretty bad. I'll show you in the video here. I showed straightening it out later in the video with the heat gun. I took the heat gun, chucked it in a vise, and that worked really good. That way I can just hold this and concentrate versus holding the gun. And I know a lot of guys will use hot water. That works really good too, but this thing was so warped. I don't know if hot water would have been, it would have worked obviously, but it would have took a lot longer to do it. So the heat gun was a good ticket for me. So this part here, it's still got maybe just I don't know, I got it pretty straight. But before, to look down the side, it would come up like this and then veer off and come up like that. And then the side here was like completely curved like a banana. So yeah, so we got this straightened out, and then looking at this side here, being this was curved up, so this had a natural curve going this way. And this side didn't actually look too bad for straightness. So that was a little bit of work to get that straightened out to make it look like it did. So I started to put these supports on. You can see how bent that was. You know, trying to work with that back and forth. But we got her. I think she looks pretty good. So I was pretty happy with that. Another thing, if you guys don't wash your models and you don't primer, which, hey, whatever, it still works either way. This was primered. The hood was primered and sanded and then obviously sprayed. This was not primered. I mentioned to you guys before, I believe Moebius has a lot of like mold release oils on everything. And you can see, I got some major fisheyeing there. She started to walk away. I did not wash these or anything. I just thought, yep, wipe it off and let's spray it. Well, yeah, once I got spraying it. Now this is with enamel. Lacquer, I don't think will hurt it or bother it as much. And I'm not sure on acrylic. But enamel is very acceptable to grease or something like that. It'll walk it away. So it's because more of a oil base basically. So that's something to keep in mind if you don't wash models. You might want to on this before you spray your body color. The chassis thing I thought I'd bring to you guys' attention. Obviously, don't cut yours like I did mine. You know, like, hey, cut spot. Oh, no. Oh, uh-oh. So obviously put your spring on first, because that notch I cut, that's where your spring goes in. Not a big deal. Like I say, you're not going to see it anyways. The transfer case, they give you an extra little gear set for your PTO that runs the back box assembly. So this little guy here, this little box right here, there's a piece on the bottom of this that would fit into a notch or a slot. On mine anyways, there is no notch in here once you put that together. I think the instructions want you to cut that or notch that. Instead of doing that, I just took and just cut the little tab that was on the bottom. I just cut it flush. And that way we just glued it on. That makes the life a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about trying to center it or make sure you got in the right spot. All that fun stuff. The shifter's same way. There's, like I say, there's no holes in there either, but they give you a little notches to set it in, just cut them off straight, and that way you don't have to worry about fiddling around with it. And then you don't even have to drill a hole, just set them in there and away you go. Because I ended up punching a little bigger hole, moving these shifters back and forth, because this one was glued down really good, so I ended up putting a little extra hole in there, but you really can't see it, especially as it's together, so not the end of the world, but that's how it goes. So those are things I thought I'd show you guys. Like I say, I believe we're around about the halfway point, so we're going to get continuing on this, and I'll show you painting the cab. So also we're going to take and I'll show you guys where I'm at on the master builder. Like I say, I've been keeping track of the builds and kind of filling everything in as I go, just to keep track of everything. So other than that, guys, let's continue with the build, and we'll go from there. So anyways, we're going onto the hood, and we're gonna wet sand this a little bit, and I'm gonna take this into the house and paint this. We're gonna wash this, get this cleaned up. So there's a lot of other goodies in here. I gotta kind of go through the instructions and see what's of use that I really need. Because being it's a wrecker, I really don't know what I really have to have and what I can get by without. You know, one of those type of things. And like I mentioned to you guys, here's the decal sheet for this. So everything's just all in white, which is okay. You know, I mean, that's cool. But it kind of limits me what I can really do with all this stuff if I'm just painting it white. So I was going to go in and make myself different decals with my name on, whatever, like I mentioned before. Which I still may do. But I think the white and black, it'll give it something to make it stand out. And I think it'll look pretty cool. So especially with the orange beacon on the top. The beacon will be orange, have orange Union 76 decals on the side. I think it'll look pretty good. I'm hoping it looks pretty good. So that's what we're going to run with. But I'm like I say, I don't know if I'm going to go through this stuff here, because I really want to get the main body panels cured. You know, like get them going. Because I know this stuff takes a while to cure. Even if I put it in my Suzy Bake oven to dry it out, my dehydrator. For a lot of you that's new to the channel, that's what I call my dehydrator, my Suzy Bake oven. I've dubbed it that since I've been doing this. So why? Because it's fun. That's why. That's all. Okay, so I'll get some black paint mixed up. So it's going to be my second time using this. It is different, I will tell you that. A good different. Very, very comfortable on my hand. Using it, but so we'll give that another run. But so far I am liking it. So I'm going to take this in the house. We're going to wash that. I'm not going to worry about this stuff right now, because I don't know what I need, what I don't need. And the parts that I do need, that's going to go on here. We'll do this stuff in Tamiya. So it's just a one done, good to go. I just need this stuff cured so we can get working on it. So I'm going to wet sand that, and we're going to wash this, and we're going to go from there. Like I mentioned before, guys, when I do primering, I like to let it set, even if I bake it, because I've mentioned this before, primer can feel dry on top, but underneath that bottom first layer, it's still kind of tacky, and it'll actually gas out in time. Even though you're thinking, yeah, it looks good, you sanded it, and I was all happy, go lucky, but I found in the past, especially if you guys ever done automotive painting, you always want to let the primer set for a while, because it can kind of trick you. I'm not saying it could happen on this, but that's something I found. I don't like to just rush primer. I'll put it on and let it set. I'll come back to it. It's not a big deal. It's not like we have to do it tomorrow. And if it's something you had to have done tomorrow, don't primer it. Just as simple as that. Changing it up. This is going to be gloss black. I did a video on getting a new gallery airbrush. So I painted the box, kind of the wrecker panel in the back, stainless. So I painted this with Alclade stainless steel. This is Alclade ALC115. This is a really nice product if you guys never used the Alclade line, because it's for airbrushing. You just dump it in, there's no mixing, it's just spray and go, and the stuff is beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. Now this kit, I've had people tell me they've had warp this, warp that, which is typical for Moebius kits. My hood is actually really nice on this kit, which is shocking, yes. Now, the cab seems really nice. Now, I'm using this for a paint holder, so I actually haven't mocked it on there to see how well it actually fits. So it may have a little warpage to it. I don't know. Now, this is warped beyond recognition. So it looks okay from the back to a point. It starts tweaking a little bit. But when you look at the front, it's like, wow. Can you see that? Like, really? Come on, guys. So, I mean, that's going to take some major, like, okay. And then looking at it from the side, it's got the banana thing going on. So anyways, that's what we got to deal with there. So that's pretty messed up. I'm going to wet sand this quick. So we're going to wet sand this with some 3000. I'm not going to go too far with this, just enough to sand her down a little bit. Just give a little bit of, make sure everybody's cool and happy. Make sure we got no rough edges. And this did not get a lot of primer like it should have. Guys, I just didn't have that much left. I was like running on fumes. I had just enough to do what I had to do, and that was the end of it. But that's okay. That's all right. It's a wrecker. It's not, you know. But, you know, on it's going to get a nice paint job just because that's the way it goes. So this is the only thing we're going to paint white is this part here. We're going to paint the other pieces, like say black. So the boom and everything, I may do that in the Tamiya, just so it might be easier to, because I don't plan on, however that turns out, it turns out, because I'm not going to go through and wet sand it and polish it and all that stuff, because it's the boom of the truck, so I'm not worried about that. So I may just do that in Tamiya and then clear it, just to match the rest of the truck. But the cab I want to look nice. I want that to look pretty good, and, you know, make that look special. So we're going to get the shot in white. So this is the only thing we're going to paint in white for right now is this. Because like I said, I still got to go through the parts of the boom part of it. And we'll get this situated on a stand. So I like to do that first before I start mixing. That way this is good to go and ready to shoot. So I'm noticing I got a little spot right here. And what made me catch it was my microfiber towel left a string of microfiber towel on there. And now that I'm looking at it, guys, there's actually a mold line right there. I didn't even see that. It's very faint. I can barely see it over here. Wow, I missed that. Man, I've been missing that a lot lately. What the heck? Alright, I'm going to sand that down. So I'm going to have to get more aggressive paper out. So we're going to go some 2500, just regular paper, just to cut that down a little bit. I'm just trying to keep it real, guys, because it's how it goes for everybody. It is what it is. It is what it is. These are the things I'll find as I'm painting, and I'll be in the painting in the booth there, and or in this little spray thing there, and I'm like, what? Now I got a coat of paint down. See how that line, you can see right there the way it's sanding. I know those guys out there like, well, I can't believe you didn't see that. Yeah, I know, I can't either. Crazy, right? That's why I have to wear glasses all the time, because my eyesight's getting like really bad. I did eat a lot of carrots growing up as a kid, so I think that myth is not right. Okay, that's why we go through these things a few times here. Not a big issue. Unfortunately, I'm not unable to reprimer it. We're just gonna have to hope for the best and let the white do its job and stick to it. Alright, so now we're going to go back with our 3000 and try to smooth that down just a little bit. Make sure we don't have no roughness from the... Plus I'll match the rest of the sand job here we did. Kind of blend that down a little bit so I don't have a line. I'm going to feather that just a little bit. Okay, hands falling asleep. We're done with that. So looking at it really close, carefully, see there's another mold line right here. It's very, very, very small. See, now I sanded this pretty good, I thought, before I primered it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, we're going to wipe this down one more time. One more time. So I'm going to use just my stick version here. I like this. I put it in my vise. I mentioned to you guys before, I told you guys, I think sometimes these here, you see all the little fuzzies on there. I think sometimes when I rotate it, I feel like I get stuff in my paint, and I need to just go through and clean those. Or I've seen guys put gloves and wrap them with towels and whatnot, which works great also, but I'm lazy. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm just that guy. So it's just easier for me to put a stick on here and call it model on a stick, you know, just and kind of go with that. because this works just as good and it gives me just as good as control. And yeah, I like it. So we have it. Like I say, I always make sure I can move it around. It's not going to fall off on me, because that has happened before, and that is like a very, very bad day. Okay, so there we go. One cab, white in color, coming right up. Okay, so now we got that done. So we're going to stick that in the vise. I got to find where I did the vise. So my room, guys, right now is in a total array. It's like, what are you doing out here? I mean, it looks like Cyclone Village through here. I don't know what, I was looking for something, and you know that goes. And I'm trying to reorganize a little bit because I'm like way overwhelmed with the kit. So I'm thinking about moving some models into my new room in the house. I do have a shelf in there that I can put like quite a few models on. I think I figure I could put 40 in there, so that'll eliminate a lot of them from in here, because I got a lot of models just sitting on the floor, which I don't care for. So you guys know my workshop is out in my garage. I do woodworking stuff, you know, projects in the house. So I have sawdust out there. So here's the problem I have right now, and it drives me absolutely nuts. I don't know how to really resolve it. Is I clean up out there. There's still sawdust everywhere once in a while. It's snowing out right now, or it's snow on the ground. So I got to walk through the snow to get in here. You step in the sawdust, which isn't like piles of it, it's just a little bit. And then you come in here, and then sawdust gets all over the floor. So I'm constantly sweeping up sawdust. It's like a never-ending battle. Unless I completely go through and like gut the garage, or I'll actually take a leaf blower and I'll blow the sawdust all the way over. But still, I don't know where, how, it always ends up picking up a little piece here and there, and it's on the floor. I move my chair around, it's like grains it into the floor, and just you can imagine. Okay, enough of that. We're just going straight white. So I did notice on these guys, don't get thinner. If you get paint up here, you know, don't wipe this with thinners. This plastic doesn't like thinner. It'll actually like start melting on you. It's like, I'm melting. So just be careful of that. So moving on, get some cups and some measuring devices here. A cup number 1, a cup number 2. So what we're going to do is we're using our Rapid thinner by Mr. Hobby. We're going to use this guy here, and this is T117. Glad I found that because I was running out of breath. So we're going to use that, and we're going to do, it's just the cab, so we shouldn't have to go too crazy with it. But I think I'm just going to go 5 and 5. We're going to do just a straight 5 milliliter mix, and kind of run with that. I think that should give us plenty to do it. So I like these cups because I can actually see the side of the lines really easy without like look at it from the side. So there's 5 on the money, I can see that. So we'll get our thinner out. 1, 2. I think we're good there. Okay guys, so we got our 1:1 mix ratio. So we're using our MCW enamel hardener. This is 1003E. And these caps do get welded on, so I usually gotta give them a little tension to get them going there. So like I say, so we got 10 milliliters total here. So we're gonna give this 3 milliliters of hardener. So we're just gonna give it basically just a full pipette. So we'll give her a nice heavy squeeze, and that's pretty close. And we're right about at the 3 mark. Throw that bad boy in there like that. Throw that pipette away, and then we're going to mix this guy in here. Like I say, we can save that cup for another use. Use this pipette here. Give her a little stir. And then we can work her back and forth. So we are going to use the new Gallery airbrush. We'll see how that paints for me. Okay, take you to a paint booth and we'll get the shot. Okay guys, so with the parts washed up here, took them in the house, washed them, give them the old once over with the old dishy soap, and made a mess in the house, water everywhere. It was good times. Yeah, so anyways, give this a quick wet sand, and I took the tape off the bottom because now I'm doing it in black, and besides I didn't want the white primer on it. So if you get a little black overspray in there, it's not the end of the world. I knew if I washed out the tape, man, I'm going to have water dripping out of there all the time. So we're going to leave it at that. Anyways, we'll get some cups out, and we're going to mix this bad boy up, and we'll see how she turns out. So I think we're just going to do straight black. I thought about doing the black with the blue metallic in it. I thought that'd be kind of cool. I'm just going to do straight black. We're just going to keep basic. Don't go too fancy on it. We're going to go from there. Okay, so we got this bottle here. We're going to use the MCW 10003E gloss black enamel. Use my Gorilla Grip strength there. There's not much in there. So this will work out perfect because I don't need a lot to paint these pieces. Probably more than I think, but we're just going to use whatever we have in here and just dump the rest. You know, hindsight, I kind of, I'm just telling on myself, guys. I should have painted the interior black like normal, like somebody normal would have done. Because being a Union 76, I got looking, I thought the back of this would look really cool in some nice metallic blue, but she would look a little goofy with red interior, so I kind of did myself in on that one. Once again, good job. Good job. Lessons learned. Let's see how much we get out of this. And wherever the drip is close, we're going to leave it at that. So we'll just measure it out from there. All right, and once again, we're going to use our hardener. And being we're 5.5, we're going to use 0.3 of the hardener. So once again, we're using our MCW 1003E. And we're, like I say, going to use 0.3. All right, guys, I'm going to just shoot this real quick, and I'll bring you guys back, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, guys, so this is next day. So we'll come out and check out our paint here. I did not bake it. I just basically sat it in the oven here, and we'll see how she looks. I tell you what, the new Swallowtail painted really nice. I was pretty happy with it. It puts the paint out like, it puts it out pretty, it's different. It's not as heavy. It puts it out a lot lighter. Kind of not used to that, but it's something I definitely get used to. And I think the hood painted almost flawless, but as I had it sitting there, I think it picked up a couple spots just sitting there waiting to be put away. So, yep, it collected 2 spots because I know there was nothing in it when I was done painting. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's like a perfectly painted black hood. But nope, we got 2 spots there, one there, one there. So they should be easy to get out because I know they were not in there during painting. So, man, that looks nice. I can see myself. Woo! That looks cool. Cool, I like it. So it does paint out pretty good. So I end up taking that tape off there because obviously I washed it and I didn't want to get water into there. So let's check out this cab. So that turned out really good. So she's pretty dry. That hardener, you don't even have to bake this stuff. It dries. Obviously it's not lacquer, but it dries super quick. So there's one dust spot I know that was in this, and it was right in the door right here somewhere. I seen it somewhere. There you go. That turned out pretty nice. Okay guys, I think we're going to wrap this video up for tonight, and we'll work on some of the rest of it later on. So I'll show you some of these parts here. We pulled them out of the oven, and they look really nice. That turned out pretty good. So I need to give that just a little bit. It's got just a couple little spots in it. We'll give that just a little touch of wet sand. I got one spot on right there. Not too bad. That looks pretty good. And a little overspray here, which is not a big deal. The back cab part for the box, that turned out pretty nice. Like I said, I'm going to wet sand these a little bit because I got some dust spots in them here. I'll get them wet sanded down. We'll decal it and then we'll clear it. Got the back panel. Turned out pretty nice also. I cleaned my room out here, and it's amazing how much this black is picking up dust from in here. Crazy. And then the hood. The hood sprayed out really nice. I got couple little spots here, so we'll wet sand them out. Same thing, we'll get it decaled, and we'll hit it with some clear. So it turned out pretty cool, like that. So that should actually look pretty good on there. I think that'll be they'll look pretty good with the white and black on the black box side. It should look good. And then, like say, the boom part, I painted all this white, so it's all gloss white, and same as the frame. So you figure time you get this sitting in here, like something like so, then you get your white pieces in here with the black. I think they'll look pretty sharp. Look pretty good. That's what we're going for anyways. So there we have it, guys. Now we got that corrected. So we're good to go there. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys following along. Check out the channel. And next time around, we're gonna get this sanded down a little bit, and we're gonna get this box together. We're gonna get this all painted up and get that painted. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time around, and appreciate you tuning in. We will see you on the next video. You guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.